Hello and welcome back to our Zero to Hero Norland challenge. And in the last episode we talked about potentially rearranging some of the city. We're actually going to hold off on that for now, and the reason being, well, we don't really have enough iron actually to create more peasants' houses at the moment. We do have the mine finally set up. We'll put Sadibor on that now. And basically, the way I found to rearrange is basically going to require us to move things like the temple and the library. It'll be a little bit less efficient. Not too terrible, but it will change. Basically, I'll put the temples like out here and the library up here. And I'll also move the hall a little bit. So we're going to wait on that until it's something that we can actually make a full line of peasants' houses out of. And that should give us the chance to create a lot more loyalists who are a lot more productive, of course. Now, Sadibor, of course, is going to be a pain on the inspections as always, but it was suggested to me that we could let all of the instructions expire, and then we could have Sadibor go and do a certain amount of inspections every day. But the issue with this, I already tested it, and it actually does not change the order, or rather, it doesn't make the order more efficient. It basically just makes it to where the last thing that expired is just the first thing that'll get inspected. So basically it doesn't actually increase the efficiency whatsoever. And that's just a thing that we have to kind of deal with. So right now, of course, we are probably going to start instructing on the mine, but what I think we're going to do is periodically we'll just shut down the mine because it has a certain amount of iron reserves anyways. And we only need maybe like around 50 iron for now, so we'll try to get that. And then we'll shut down the production on the mine so that Sadibor doesn't have to keep going over here. Which will decrease efficiency, of course. And we're probably just going to go ahead and get rid of these rutabaga fields right now. And we're going to get rid of this lumber mill right now. Now, as you can see, we have 11 homeless, and that's about how many peasants we would like to just migrate away from the city, because that will be less jobs for Sadibor to have to deal with. And that might mean that we actually need to get rid of a couple of rutabaga fields here as well, and potentially even one of these pig farms. That's not something that's going to be on our plate today, probably. It'll be in a future episode. So another thing we have to deal with is Ugrad here, and of course we are their vassal right now. However, Vasna is trying to force us into neutrality. Now, Ugrad sent us a whole 8 soldiers, and if you look, they have 18, Kriege has 19, and Siva has 15. This is a way stronger, I guess you could say, kingdom, although it's not really a kingdom, it is just an alliance of cities. However, it essentially works out the exact same as a kingdom anyways. And they would be able to defend us a lot better from aggressive cities like Ugrad. Not only that, but this gives us a better excuse to leave than just going here, and I don't even think we can we? Okay, we can withdraw. It'd be minus 20 and a minus 10 relation with all of our neighbors. Whereas I believe if we just accept this, it's just the minus 10 with our suzerain. So that's a lot better. I think we're just going to accept it. Because if Ugrad decides to actually attack us, which they might, we'll be able to get some decent defenses from it. And honestly, we only need maybe like 5 soldiers or so to take care of Ugrad on their own. They're not that strong. So we're going to go ahead and do that now. And we have paper. We could just actually send a messenger so that Sadibor doesn't have to deal with it. We do have this paper from, we were going to use it for the Chancellery, but we're not going to use the Chancellery right now, so we'll just do that. Now, another thing we're going to do, we're actually going to go to our production here, and we're going to set this amount of moonshine just a little bit lower, mainly because we are actually not producing nearly enough of an excess of moonshine anyway, so I think 150 should be fine. And the issue that we're kind of running into is that they stock all of the resources that are needed in the brewery in order to create all that moonshine. And so then they have to bring that back actually to the hall in order for it to be sold at the trader. And I don't want anybody to even risk being unable to buy food because it took too long to bring it back from the brewery. So we're just going to do it like that for now until we stock up more rutabaga or until we need more moonshine, which seems perfectly fine by me. Now, of course, Sadibor, he already went to pray, which is good, and he is now trying to go eat. We're going to let him do that, and then we'll send him to study. He's only studying cooking meat, and at this point, it's really just not even that important. So being that we're at the trader now, as you can see, of course, we do have this tribute to the suzerain, so we're actually just going to ignore this for now. That'll save us 500 gold, and we should probably be able to pay our taxes with little issues once we get out of this, this vassalage agreement, and it looks like our messenger actually just left, so that's kind of unfortunate. Hopefully it doesn't take him too long to do that. We're going to let Sadibor finish eating, but I do want him to get a little bit of studying time done today. As you can see, he got his 15 management. If he had the talent, oh, we could actually make use of the chancellery. Super unfortunate. This is why being a 0 is unfortunate. And using the talent actually wouldn't have really done anything in the early game, so we, you know, if you're playing along on the series, or if you're going to play along on the series at some point, maybe just give yourself the talent on management, because it's kind of crucial at these later stages, and it's not something that really like changes the entire challenge too much, except at this point right now that we're at. You know, maybe you see it as being too easy mode, and that's kind of why I did it as well, so I'm happy with it. But if you would prefer to actually make things a little bit more doable, then you could totally give yourself that talent. Now, as you can see, Ugrad hates us because, as you can see, we have accepted that neutrality agreement from Vasna, and now we are back to being independent. Now, it's kind of funny because Ugrad is actually still reinforcing us right now, which I find hilarious. They haven't left yet, so I don't know. Are they actually leaving? Let's go check things out. Where are they at? Is this them? That does appear to be them, yeah. They're just sleeping, so they'll probably leave in the morning. Now what we're probably going to do is actually join the Vasna Alliance. Are we going to use another paper on this? I suppose we will. And hopefully that does not take too long. Okay, now it's another new day, and Sadibor is doing a little bit of studying here before he goes to work for the day. He's doing pretty good. He's almost done with cooking meat knowledge here, which is very good. And we joined the Vasna Alliance, and we also received 300 gold from them. How nice. Now hopefully we get the trader again soon, because that 300 gold is definitely going to help us for sure. And hopefully Ugrad does not try to attack us soon. And it would actually also suck if Gorno and Ugrad joined their forces, because then they could definitely mount kind of an offensive against us. As you can see, we're backed into a corner here. That is kind of the one struggle here. But otherwise, I think this alliance will serve us pretty good for the foreseeable future. Okay, as you can see, Sadibor is finishing up one last inspection while the workday has actually already ended. And he has a total of 9 things done today, when you include this one, so that's actually pretty good. And we'll just let him kind of do his own thing tonight. We have now forest bandits in our area. As you can see, there are actually 7 of them. They look kind of menacing. We do have, of course, 9 total people. I don't think this is actually going to be enough to take care of them right now. Let's take a look, though. It's possible. Neva. We do have enough weapons and everything for it. 60%. I'm not loving those odds right now. Mainly because we have obviously no medical salves whatsoever. That's not good. So basically, if anybody gets hurt in that battle, then they are definitely going to die. And I would prefer not to lose anybody, you know, unless they're like one of our lower leveled people. But I would prefer not to lose anybody good right now. It would actually be nice to hire somebody like this right now, but I don't think we can really do that at the moment. We don't have enough money, really, so we're just going to have to wait on hiring more people. Now, on another note, I just keep looking around, and it's super unfortunate. We are getting very unlucky with trade routes as well, because actually, if somebody was buying meat, we would be doing a whole lot better, but that just does not seem to be in the cards for us right now. However, as you can see, there is a camp of forest bandits right here that is only 3 strong. I think that we could take this out for sure. Let's take a look at what it's saying our odds are. It should be pretty good odds, I would think. 77. That's not as good as I was hoping. Hopefully they don't get any more powerful. I need to keep an eye on it, because if it gets all of a sudden an influx of bandits, then that could get us killed for sure. Now, as you can see, Sadibor is just lovely playing some music, and he's doing that with Dewar as well, who was actually, he was going through rutabaga fever, and he seems to have recovered from it just fine. Of course, because we do have the rutabaga braising knowledge, wherever that is, right here. Which, of course, saves us from the actual death from it, but everybody still gets sick at some point, so that is kind of a thing that we are still having to deal with. Now, I changed my mind because we did get some gold back from just people paying for their, you know, daily wares and everything like that, so we may go ahead and pay for this one mercenary, just one. I would like to buy more, but that seems to be the best that we can do. And at some point, we're going to want to get the training ground just so that we can actually train them and get stronger warriors that way. And Sadibor finished his knowledge. We'll just put him on keeping prisoners, even though it's really not very important. Surprisingly, none of these prisoners have actually tried to escape yet, which is kind of funny to me. They have basically the worst possible mood, so it's kind of funny that they've managed to not try to escape so far. Now, Neva is over to this bandit camp now. There is still only 3 of them, so we should be just fine. We're going to go ahead and start inspecting for Sadibor. As you can see, wow, Neva has a whole lot of face scars going on. Alright, it looks like this commander actually has a pretty decent combat skill himself. But there's only 3, so this should be no issue whatsoever. We are probably going to stay in the back once they get over here. Hopefully they won't try to run away. They kind of do, but it looks like it's okay. There we go. Just let them get started. And this should be no problem whatsoever. It was not. I don't think anybody got injured. I hope nobody got injured. Can we even check on Neva while they're out? Doesn't seem like they're injured. Hopefully nobody else got injured then. That's a free 75 gold and a couple of prisoners. How many prisoners? 2 prisoners. Okay, that works. Just as I was talking about it earlier, there is a prisoner trying to escape, and it looks like they are going to get away. Wow, they're severely hungry. Former gangster. They're scarred, homeless. Yeah. They were doing wonderfully here. I don't know why they would want to escape. I would definitely love to stay around and just starve slowly here, personally. Okay, so for the first time, Sadibor seems to be doing his instructions here on the mine. It's already level 2, so there will be a total of 200 iron that we can mine from here. If we upgrade this again, and we have plenty of wood, so there's really no sense not to, we're just going to upgrade it again, and that'll be a total of 300 that we could actually mine from there eventually, which will be quite nice. What we're probably going to do, though, is just like I said before, we're going to let them mine about 50, and then we'll probably close it down for the time being. Just because there's really no need for us to have more than that until we actually have the workshops so that we can make tools and everything. Now, on another note, it looks like we gained another loyalist, so that's actually quite nice. As I'm pretty sure I've mentioned, if you have these peasant houses, then there is actually a pretty good chance that you will start to gain loyalists over time, which is quite a nice mechanic if you ask me. Now, as I mentioned, it would be kind of bad if Ugrad and Gorno actually formed their own kingdom. And what do you know, that is exactly what happened, but Gorno seems to have lost some troops, so maybe not that bad. And of course they have the burned village as well, so that's probably hurting them. And this one also has a burned village. They also have a camp of forest bandits right here. We could actually attack that just so that they don't hate us as strongly, and that may prevent them from trying to attack us in the short future. But this camp of forest bandits is getting stronger. They have eight people now. So we may want to save our forces to be able to deal with that. Since we once again are at about 750 gold here, we may hire one more mercenary for the time being. I wish we could hire just a couple of more just so that we could really guarantee that we can attack this bandit camp soon. But I don't think that it's going to be a very good idea at the moment. And of course, we do have enough tools right now to build the chancellery, but I think I may just end up selling these back to the caravan for the time being once we get it, because, like I said, we don't really have the paper to actually deal with the chancellery right now. Maybe we will later in the series, but I'm actually not even sure if we ever will be able to. We'll just have to see. But either way, I think that is where we're going to call it for this episode. So unfortunately, we are just stacking up meat, and there's nothing we can do with it. The caravan doesn't come often enough for us to really even deal with the market saturation at this point. But hopefully this will change in time. And actually, we have enough moonshine right now. We're just going to set this up to 200. Hopefully that is fine. And yeah, we are stocking up resources, but not necessarily stocking up the money. And because of that, we can't really hire as many warriors as we would like, so these bandits may actually be a problem for us. We'll just have to see. But either way, I thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.